Andrea from the team at We Love Baking. Today I'm going to share with you how to make a super summery cake, a sangria cake. This has all the delicious flavour of the drink in a cake. Let's get baking. So today I'm going to make this in a bundt tin. So before I've started anything of my cake making, I've prepared my bundt pan, as you can see. And the way you prepare that is you brush it with some melted butter. That's what I've done today. And I've dusted it with some flour and then whacked it to get all the flour out. So you don't want to have too much flour in there, otherwise you're going to have flour on the outside of your cake once it's baked. So you want to cover the inside, that's going to help release it really well, and then get as much of the flour that's in there left. So that's my bundt tin ready to go. I'm going to set that aside so we can make our cake. So into a mixing bowl, I am going to start with some dry ingredients. We have some plain flour, and to that I'm also going to add some baking powder, and finally some salt. Going to give this a very quick whisk together just to get all those ingredients evenly combined. And that is our dry ingredients mix done. So I'm going to pull out the bowl of my stand mixer, and into this I'm going to pop some unsalted butter. These are just cut into cubes, but it's at room temperature, so it's going to make it easier to mix up. The zest of 1 orange. So once you have zested all your orange, we are done with that for now. I'm going to grab my spatula and get all the zest off the back of there as well, because that's all delicious flavour. Now, so when you scrape down, something else to remember with zesting a piece of fruit, like an orange or a lemon, is you want to zest it directly into your mixing bowl. And this is because when you zest it, you don't just get the zest part, the bit that you see, the skin of the fruit, but actually it also releases the oil of the fruit, which gives you extra flavour. So always zest directly into your mixing bowl for the most flavour in your baking. So my final ingredient to go in here is, of course, Tate and Lyle's caster sugar. Now I'm using caster sugar today because it has finer granules than granulated sugar. So it's going to dissolve better in the cake and become a part of it and not give you any crunch or anything like that. We don't want that in our cake at all. So I've already measured this out, and this is going in with my butter and orange zest. Once you've got your ingredients in there, it's time to get mixing. We're going to pop this in the stand mixer, and I'm using a paddle attachment today. And we're going to beat this for a few minutes until it's paler and fluffy. So what you want is for your mixture to be really pale and fluffy. It will have gone a little bit yellow, as you can see. That's because of the orange zest. That is absolutely perfect. To that, I'm going to add a couple more ingredients. First of all, I've got some vanilla here. This is vanilla bean paste I'm using today, but you can use regular vanilla as well. That's fine. I always recommend using proper vanilla, not the synthetic vanilla flavour. It will just give you a much lovelier flavour of vanilla instead. So that's going in. And I'm also going to add in my eggs. Now I've got 3 eggs going into this cake. I'm going to add them in one at a time and mix before I add the next one. And what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that your eggs mix in really well and you don't end up with clumps that look a bit like scrambled eggs. So once you have added all your eggs and mixed it together, before we go any further with the recipe, I'm just going to grab my spatula and scrape off any bits of butter, mixture, or anything like that you can see on the paddle, but also up the sides of the bowl, just to make sure everything in this bowl is completely really well mixed. Time for a final mix. So once that has all come together, if it looks slightly curdled at this stage, don't worry, it will all come together when we add the flour in. It will be fine. So now we're going back to those dry ingredients that we saved aside before. We're going to alternate putting that in with our sangria, because we're making a sangria cake. So I'm going to start with my flour and end with my flour, and I'm going to do 3 additions of flour to 2 additions of the liquid. And we're doing that gradually just to make sure that the mixture mixes really well and it doesn't curdle or anything like that. So once you've added all your ingredients, I also put in a little bit of pink food colouring just to make it feel a bit more sangria-like. So we have this beautiful dark pink colour. And now all we're going to do is pop it in our cake tin and bake. So once you have put all your cake mixture in the tin, just level it out all the way around. Make sure it's nice and evenly spread out, and just give your tin a little bit of a shake and a gentle knock on your worktop, just to level it out, just to get any air bubbles out, anything like that. And then this is going to bake. So while I've been making my cake, I've had my oven preheating behind me, and I'm going to bake it, and I'll see you on the other side with baked cake. So once your cake is baked and cool completely, it is time to decorate. I have kept this decoration really simple. We are just making a sangria glaze for the top. And to make this, you simply mix some Tate and Lyle icing sugar with a little bit of sangria. Simply drizzle it over the top of your cake, letting it drip down between the crevices. Fill the middle with some beautiful fresh fruit and you are ready to go. There you have it, a beautiful summery bake in a sangria cake. Hope you've enjoyed this video, folks. Thanks so much for joining us today. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe, and do let us know below if you're making it too. Happy baking!